Chapter 5 Mama's Woes. Meanwhile, back at home, Mama woke Jide up with her screaming the next day. Jide, whose eyes had been swollen from lack of sleep, ran outside. In the few days that his wife had disappeared, he could not sleep nor eat. He was worried. He did not even go to deliver the plantains, as he always did. "Mama, what is it?" Jide asked, and then his eyes caught the rolled up rug at their doorstep. It had black hair sticking out of one end. He quickly untied the rug and shouted as Ekaite rolled out of it, coughing. He picked her up with much difficulty and took her into the room. "Where have you been?" Mama screamed at her as she wrinkled her nose. "And why do you stink so much?" "Mama, I was kidnapped," she said truthfully, for she believed that was what had happened. "Two men came into the house in the night, and that is the last thing I remember." "My God, I have failed you," said Jide defeatedly. He knelt beside her. Mama looked at them, and then she pointed at Ekaite as she noticed something. "You are pregnant." It was as though a light bulb had suddenly been partially turned on. "Yes, Mama," she said, and then she began to shed tears of joy. "Ah, you don't mean it," said Jide, trying not to be excited, even though he failed hopelessly at it. He kissed her forehead. "I am so happy." Mama smiled tiredly. "It only means my fertility concoction is working. Praise be to the gods. Let me get some more for you to drink. But first, you must burn those clothes. You stink." "Mama, she is fine. I cannot smell anything," shouted Jide excitedly. "My wife is back, and that is all that matters." But Mama insisted. "Don't worry. Once you take my concoction, all that smell will go away." Mama dashed out to get the concoction, muttering to herself as she did so. It was clear she was happy. She clearly never expected this blessing. Finally, she would be a grandmother. She came in with the concoction and gave it to Ekaite to drink. Ekaite drank it as she always did, and Mama smiled. Her wrinkled nose suddenly became normal. But then, Ekaite retched violently and vomited everything. There was a worried look on Mama's face, and her nose wrinkled again. Jide, on the other hand, had gotten a bucket of water, soaked it with a rag, and wiped his wife's feet. Mama gave her the concoction again and she drank it. Just as her nose was unwrinkling due to her reduced smell, Ekaite retched and vomited the concoction once more. Mama squeezed her nose again because the smell was unbearable. "It must be the morning sickness," said Jide. "Mama, please, let her be. Don't give her that again. She will try later." Mama seemed concerned as she left the room for the both of them. She sat on her chair and stared at the trees outside her house. It was only now that she noticed that one of the flowers had turned a violent grey, almost like it was dead. Chapter 6 Jide's Disappearance. Days turned to weeks, and weeks turned to months. Her stomach was finally showing, and the talk around the town changed considerably. "Did you notice she is glowing?" said marketswoman number 1. "I have never seen anyone so beautiful," said marketswoman number 2. "And the husband is so sweet. He has been sharing plantains and bananas to the villagers." "The gods bless him," said meat seller number 3. "He clearly loves his wife so much." But in the 9th month of the pregnancy, Jide disappeared without a trace. Not only did he disappear, but 9 of the banana trees had withered completely. "How could he do this to me?" Ekaite cried as the 9th month came to an end. She was getting so big, and she was sure she would give birth soon. Plus, her lower abdomen was starting to feel tight. "Jide, my son," Mama lamented as she described into the 100th town crier that had come to pass the message that he was missing. Not taller than the banana tree, handsome and very muscular. The most popular plantain seller in the whole of Kuala. The town crier took note of all of this and set out to deliver the message to all who could hear it. The 9th month passed, and still Ekaite's belly grew bigger. Then the 10th month came, the 11th, the 12th, until the 14th had come. Ekaite became worried. No baby in sight, no husband. What was going on again? The neighbors had resumed another set of talks. One said she was indeed a witch, and this proved it. Another said it was the wicked deeds the husband had done in the past that were affecting him. "Where is the husband, eh?" cried the village carer. "Disappeared without a trace, just like his father. Useless generation of men." Another said Mama probably killed her husband, and this is how she is getting paid. What a shame to be grandmotherless for 10 years. And to make matters worse, there were only 2 banana trees left, and by the looks of it, they won't last till the end of the month. Mama would sit around the banana tree and cry profusely, knowing that their source of income would be drying up very soon. What could she do? And as she cried, one of the trees withered before her very eyes. It was at this point that Ekaite decided she had to go back to her village and find a solution. Surely this was not normal. They could even tell her where her husband was if she was lucky enough. That night, as she bade Mama good night, she packed her things and waited till it was night so she could leave the house without Mama knowing. Once she was sure Mama was asleep, she got up, walked silently across the house and to the door, and made to open it. Chapter 7. The unharvestable fruits. "Where are you going by this time, Ekaite?" Mama asked solemnly. Ekaite almost had a heart attack. She turned around and Mama was there, sitting on a mat, on the floor, the lamp she had just lit brightening her face to show her smiling. "Mama, I just wanted to go and pluck one of the bananas outside. I was craving it." "All my bananas are dying," Mama said to her, "and I don't know why." Mama wrinkled her nose again. "You stink." Oh my goodness. Ekaite was used to this by now. "Mama, I am sorry," she said. "I just want to go." "To Ekorinim," Mama responded, mentioning Ekaite's village. "Ekaite, I thought we had an agreement." "Mama, I don't know what you are talking about." "Don't lie. I can always tell. I have always known, but I opted for peace." "You went to your village, did you not? That was where you were for the 2 days you were missing." "Mama, it is not like that." Ekaite tried to explain. "I just wanted to help, that is all." "Help who?" Mama screamed, and instantly the door shut itself, startling Ekaite. "I told you we were comfortable and happy as 3. But Mama, the villagers were talking. They were calling me a witch. They were calling you a witch." "They did not lie," Mama responded snidely. "I told you that you stink. You stink of enchantments from another witch." And just as though it all happened yesterday, everything came rushing back, including the moment Auntie Enobong told her she reeked of enchantments. "Mama," said Ekaite, not sure of what was going on, but trying to put the pieces together. "Did you put a curse on me?" "I cannot risk that last banana tree dying, Ekaite," Mama said, ignoring her question. "You are not supposed to bring another fruit into this family. We were satisfied with the bananas, but you came and ruined everything for us." "Mama," said Ekaite in a final sort of way, "I am going. There is nothing you can do about it." "Are you sure?" Mama smiled again, and the next instant she was by the door and in front of Ekaite. Ekaite tried to scream, but no sound left her mouth. "I might not be able to touch your baby because of that idiot you call Auntie, but at least I can destroy the oven. I have kept the baby in there long enough. Mama, please, Ekaite cried. But Mama picked her up effortlessly, just as Auntie Enobong had, and placed her on the floor. She muttered some incantations, and an invisible force pushed itself on her, pinning her to the floor. Mama went into the room and took out a calabash. I have been giving you the wrong concoction, she said. I should have been trying to kill you instead, not your baby. I am sorry. It would have given the same results. What was I thinking? Ekaite could not believe her ears. The moment you returned and you were thinking, I knew another witch had gotten to you. But stubborn me kept trying to give you the concoction that I've been giving you for years to kill your babies. Only your baby fought back this time and forced you to throw it all up. This won't happen again, I promise. Forgive me for the inconvenience. She uttered some words and the calabash began to bubble. She took some leaves and placed them in the calabash and danced, bobbing her head up and down as though in a trance. Ekaite, my daughter, please drink this. It was as though Mama was merely offering a sick person some medication to make her feel better. An outsider listening in wouldn't have been able to tell that there was something sinister going on inside the house. Ekaite shook her head, but at the same time, against her will, she raised her head up and opened her mouth to drink. Stop that! Came a loud voice from outside, followed by a loud boom as the whole house shook. Mama looked at the door as a second boom hit the house, shaking it from its very foundation. Someone was trying to get in. I am busy! Mama cried out. She sounded more irritated than scared. The boom continued. Leave now or else. Or else what? The last boom sounded and the door was blown off into with an almighty crash. It landed on the floor a few inches away from Mama, who was crouched on the same floor, about to feed Ekaite with the concoction. You might have as well thrown a paper at Mama. The reaction was the same. She was unbothered.